How's it going, y'all? It is a beautiful day here in the Twin Cities. I have my dad at a barbecue shirt on, and today we are doing a video. This video is basically a comparison of two of the most happening neighborhoods in all of the Twin Cities, North Loop and Uptown. I'm gonna be talking about the pros and cons of each neighborhood. I'm gonna compare the two, and hopefully by the end of this, if you're thinking about moving to either one, you know which one you're interested in. And I assure you, there will not be a better video on this topic anywhere on the internet. Let's do this thing. How's it going, y'all? My name is Jesse Lynch. This channel is devoted to all things living, working, playing, eating, sleeping, buying, selling, investing in real estate in the Twin Cities. If any of those things sound up your alley, do us both a favor and subscribe to this channel. I'm a real estate agent and investor from the Twin Cities. I was born here, I was raised here, I love it here. This channel combines two of my favorite things, which is teaching people about real estate and showing off this amazing place that I live, the Twin Cities of Minnesota. This video today specifically is a comparison of two of the hottest neighborhoods in the Twin Cities, the North Loop and Uptown. I'm gonna show you around, show you what it looks like, show you what it feels like. Maybe you wanna live in one and just go visit the other. All right, and we are gonna get started with the North Loop. Let's dive in. North Loop is known for one thing probably over all other things, and that is basically its second name, or maybe even its previous name, was the warehouse district. This used to be all warehouses, and now developers and investors or whatever have taken these amazing, cool, beautiful industrial warehouses and have converted them into really stunning, beautiful lofts and apartments and condos. This place has changed so much in the last 15 years. I went to college at the Institute of Production and Recording, which used to be at 3rd in Washington. And that was just a school kind of in this middle of nowhere, like a food desert. It was really hard to go find any food when you were going to school. And now at 3rd in Washington is one of the trendiest hotels in like the entire city of Minnesota. It's called the Hewing Hotel. It is beautiful. There's a bar in the main floor and a rooftop and all that. And it is a really, really a beautiful place. But yeah, it used to just be a school where a bunch of people like me would hang out and try to become music producers. But in the last 15 years, as more industrial living spaces became more sought after, truly the warehouse district and North Loop became the place for that because of supply. There's a greater supply here of beautiful old industrial warehouses than basically anywhere else in the Twin Cities. And because of that, it has just very, very quickly gentrified to become this place that so many people want to live. And what follows people moving into an area? Restaurants, bars, entertainment, right? So even if after watching this video, you decide you want to move to Uptown instead of North Loop, there's still a really good chance that you'll end up in North Loop hanging out with people because it has some really amazing restaurants and bars and coffee shops, and honestly, some of the coolest ambiance in the entire Twin Cities metro area. So yeah, as you can see, North Loop is super convenient when it comes to bike paths, the river, being close to downtown. It's close to Northeast. There's restaurants, there's shops, there's bars. But there are some things that you will not find in the North Loop, primarily single-family homes. I don't think there's a single-family home in the entirety of North Loop. It's all condos, it's all apartments, and then there's some townhomes, but I don't think there's a single freestanding single-family home in all of North Loop that I can think of. Another thing you're not gonna find in North Loop is lakes. There's the river, yeah, it's beautiful. It's got a really great bike path that goes all along it and walking paths. It's really cool. But if a lake and swimming in a lake is your thing, you're gonna have, and for me, I would say maybe my least favorite thing about North Loop is that it's just not open 24 hours. Uptown, you're gonna be able to get something somewhere at any time of day. There are grocery stores and pharmacies that are open 24 hours. In North Loop, there's only really one grocery store, and it's not even in North Loop. It's technically just outside of North Loop, just east of Hennepin, which Hennepin is the cutoff, which is great. I mean, yeah, there's a Whole Foods quite convenient to you. There is an amazing farmer's market. But when it comes to a grocery store that you can just go to at any time of day, there isn't one that I know of in the North Loop. And please, if you're watching this, correct me if I'm wrong, but as far as I know, there's not a pharmacy and there's not a grocery store that's open 24 hours. My assumption is the best luck you'd have with anything open 24 hours is gonna be like a gas station, like a holiday gas station or something like that. And you know what, maybe the 24-hour thing isn't the end of the world to you, but there definitely are conveniences that you will not find in North Loop that you can get in Uptown. Like a hardware store, electronics, there's an Apple store in Uptown, bigger brand name stores, bookstores, craft stores, tattoo shops. And again, if you're looking for a single family home with a yard, North Loop is not your spot. Uptown for sure wins that battle. Let's head over to Uptown right now. All right, y'all, welcome to the Uptown neighborhood. Right now I'm standing in Calhoun Square. Calhoun Square, without a doubt, is the center, is the core of the Uptown neighborhood. And while Uptown has a very rich history in arts and arts culture, it's in hipster culture, that culture is shifting. It is becoming a more corporatized culture. Calhoun Square is a great representation of that. It is rather quickly becoming more and more of a corporate area, and the arts community is moving elsewhere. And two of the biggest neighborhoods that they are fleeing to is Uptown's next door neighbor, Whittier, and Northeast. When I first moved into Minneapolis, I moved to the Uptown area. And because it was affordable, super convenient, trendy, full of hipsters, that kind of thing. And that is shifting, although a lot of those things are still here. It is still extremely convenient, probably the most convenient and most walkable neighborhood in the entirety of the Twin Cities. And you might want to wander over into the Whittier neighborhood or Kingfield or Loring Park, but I do believe that you could spend your entire life within the confines of Uptown and it would have everything that you would ever need. And again, unlike North Loop, which is mostly large warehouses or big apartment buildings, Uptown is full of old brownstones built in the early 1900s and craftsman single-family homes and duplexes and fourplexes. All right, let me show you around a little bit. Right now I am at Budaya, which, just for your reference, it used to be called Lake Calhoun, which I only say because if you're looking up things about the Twin Cities, you might see stuff about Lake Calhoun. Now it's called Budaya. Budaya is the middle of three lakes, Lake of the Isles, Budaya, and Lake Harriet. However, Budaya is without a doubt the activity hub of all three. There are boat rentals, canoe rentals, kayak rentals, paddleboard rentals, and it is probably the most common walked around neighborhood. And every single day, 20 million people walk around Budaya. That's not true. I just made that up. There's not even 20 million people in the metro area. There's not even 20 million people in the state of Minnesota, but it is really popular and a ton of people do walk around it. So like I said, one thing you're gonna find in Uptown that you will not find in North Loop are single family homes with mature trees and really just an established neighborhood feel. And if you're moving to the Twin Cities and you are renting, you will be able to find cheaper apartments in Uptown than you ever will in North Loop. North Loop, by and large, contains luxury apartments. Uptown has luxury apartments that go for about the same rate as in North Loop, but Uptown has a much more diverse home selection to go from. You can get a one bedroom in a nice historic brownstone with hardwood floors, and maybe not updated or new, but full of old age character for around $1,000. In North Loop on the low end, you're looking at paying around $1,500 for an apartment. And yeah, it'll be a nice apartment. There aren't really mid-grade apartments in North Loop, but if you have a budget of closer to $1,000, then Uptown is definitely the spot for you. Now I told you some of the cons of the North Loop area, so what does that look like in Uptown? First things first, I'm gonna say that probably the biggest bummer of Uptown is the traffic, especially right now. This is in 2020. There is some really crazy construction going on around right now. Uptown is situated south of 94 and west of 35W. And some of the biggest roads to get in and out of the Uptown area historically are Lake Street and 36th. And those are closed right now to get onto 35W. So a huge portion of the traffic getting out of Uptown now is heading southbound on Lyndale and Hennepin, and it causes a lot of congestion. At peak times, it can take 15 minutes just to get to the highway from Uptown, and it is not that far. If you do it in the middle of the night when there's nobody on the road, it might take 3 minutes. So it can be a slow roll during rush hour, especially while we're doing all this construction. However, hopefully once they're done with that construction, the whole thing will be a lot slicker, traffic will be reduced by a great deal, and the Uptown area won't feel quite so congested. While it is an extremely convenient place to live with all the conveniences you would need, if you want to venture to downtown or to Northeast, it is further away than the likes of Northloop. But I will say that Uptown is still extremely convenient to the likes of Loring Park and a lot of downtown as well. It's just not quite as close or walkable as, say, Northloop. Northloop is a social, almost a fancier, more refined nightlife, but Uptown is more of a party vibe. People just out of college, people who want to go to clubs and bars, and they stumble home drunk and that kind of thing. You're gonna find that a lot more in Uptown than you are in North Loop. I used to live on 27th and Hennepin, and I lived on the first floor facing Hennepin. I swear at 2 a.m. every Friday and Saturday, I would always hear drunk people stumbling down Hennepin, basically coming from the Calhoun Square area and going towards the likes of the Uptown Diner to get a late night bite to eat. But if that kind of lifestyle appeals to you, then Uptown is the place. And likewise, if that totally turns you off, but you do like the convenience idea of it and the walkability and all that, then I would say just stay away from the Calhoun Square area. Get away from that, and then that is ultimately where the whole party vibe really is in Uptown. So the further you can get away from that, the more peaceful, more calm, and more neighborhood-like it will be. All right, I hope this video was helpful. Do all the things, subscribe, click the bell, like this video. I'm genuinely curious which one seems more up your alley. And truly, if there are any other neighborhoods in the Twin Cities that you're kind of eyeing, leave me a comment and tell me, hey, can you do a tour of this place? I promise I will do it for you. If you're moving to the Twin Cities, get a hold of me. I will hook you up. I will kill it for you. I'll be your first friend in the Twin Cities. Call, text, email, leave a message on my website, DM me on Instagram, DM me on Facebook, send me a postcard, whatever you got to do it. I look forward to talking to you. Enjoy yourself. Bye-bye.